What's up, everybody? It's Friday, May 3rd. Let's talk PlayStation. So there's not a whole lot going on with Vita this past week, but there is kind of some bad news. On Ask Capcom's forums, basically someone said, hey, when are we going to see Monster Hunter on PS Vita? And basically Capcom replied, not anytime soon. If you don't care about Monster Hunter, then okay, that's kind of like okay for you, you don't care about it anyway. But if you want the Vita to succeed, this is kind of a big blow for the PlayStation Vita. Monster Hunter is huge in Japan. Like, the game sells millions of copies for whatever platform it's on. It made the PSP outsell the DS for like 6 months at 1 year. Point being, Monster Hunter makes these systems successful, so the fact that it's not coming to Vita at all anytime soon means that the Vita might struggle even more. As of right now, upcoming Monster Hunter 4 is coming to 3DS in Japan exclusively. And again, that's like a huge blow to Sony because, people love Monster Hunter down there and no one's going to be buying Vitas. They're all going to be buying 3DSs. If anything, though, Monster Hunter is really only popular in Japan, not really the US or other territories. But, we'd still like the system to be popular somewhere so we can maybe start to pick up in other territories. Now, while some developers are still kind of on Vita, there's still tons of other developers saying great things about Vita and PSN, one being the Dragon Fantasy developer last week basically said, yeah, we're super focused on PSN and it makes us a lot of money. Developer Muteki, I don't know how to say their name, but Muteki something Corporation basically said they're really focused on the PSN versions of their games. It works well for them. It's making them a lot of profit. And even though they've registered the game for other platforms like Xbox Live and even iOS, they're definitely focusing on PSN right now, which is
good.
They've even come out saying right now that PlayStation platforms pretty much are their top priority right now. So that's kind of what they're working on with Dragon Fantasy Book 2 and all that. And that's great. It's more of that media stuff. It's more of these people saying, this is why it's great to work with Sony and this is why they're earning us so much profit. This is good stuff. I mean, this is where I really think Sony is getting sort of that edge on the competition, where they're getting all this support from developers because they're giving the support to them. They're letting them know. They're doing this for them. They're advertising for them. They're putting their name out on PSN. They're doing all these great things for them. And in return, in interviews, they're letting people know, hey, PlayStation's awesome. Alright, next news story. Tiger Woods' PGA Tour 2015 has been canceled. Yep. So here's one of our cover stories. Is the PlayStation 4 going to have the best launch lineup of any PlayStation platform? Apparently Mark Kearney, the system's architect, thinks so. In a conversation with Gamasutra, he basically said, he can't say, a title count or, what titles, obviously, but he basically said, in his personal opinion, that the system is going to have the strongest launch lineup of any PlayStation console. Now, at first, this is me thinking, okay, well, he's got to say nice things about Sony. But really look at it, though. Killzone Shadowfall, Infamous Second Son, possibly Assassin's Creed 4, confirmed Watch Dogs this past week. It's looking actually pretty good. Now, the PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP launches were pretty subpar. They weren't phenomenally great, and the PS Vita, I'd say, definitely does have the best launch lineup out of those consoles. So now with the PS4 coming up, is the PS4 going to top the PS Vita? And I think they, PS4 could do that pretty easily with just these titles if these all come out on day one. I mean, really, think about it. If all these games speak to your taste, you come home with your new PS4, which one do you play first? Infamous Second Son, Killzone Shadowfall, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Drive Club, and obviously there's some more to-be-announced titles. We don't know if Knack is a launch title, who knows? And obviously, Mark Kearney knows something that we don't. He knows the rest of the PlayStation 4 lineup. There could possibly even be more AAA titles in there. We don't know. I mean, we're so early in. There's still tons of stuff we don't know about the PS4 or its launch titles, but if all these 5 games are launch titles, then that right there could, pretty easily seal the deal. I mean, Vita had some really good launch games, but they weren't these. Hey, let's talk about Naughty Dog. I'm glad we can finally talk about this. This is the #1 question I get from YouTube, PSN, Twitter, anywhere. I get this question a lot, and I've answered it tons of times. What is Naughty Dog working on? Not just The Last of Us, but their second team. What are they working on? And I've been asked this in a number of ways. Is Naughty Dog working on Jak 4? Is Naughty Dog making Uncharted 4? When is Naughty Dog's next project coming? Is it going to be PS4 related? Pretty much anything sort of Naughty Dog. That is sort of the question, generality of the question I always get. Naughty Dog has just posted a bunch of job listings, and I mean a bunch, a crap load of job listings for the studio. And what does that mean? I mean, usually when a game studio needs to bring in that many people, that definitely indicates a new title. More often than not, when a company finishes a game, they lay off some people, which sucks. But, they're nearing the end of The Last of Us. The Last of Us is almost coming out, and they're bringing on this many more people. That is definitely their second project. Now, what is it? I think it's very safe to say it is a PS4 game. Now, of course, the big granddaddy question, what is it? When will we see it? I don't know. I'm not, I'm not Naughty Dog. I'm not in this industry. I can only give my input and my opinion and what I think is going to happen. Now, all of this that I will say right now is basically my opinion and what I think is going to happen. Right off the bat, people ask me, are they going to make a Jak game? I think they will. It's just a matter of when. And I don't think it's going to be now. Naughty Dog in the past has definitely expressed going back to Jak, and at one point they even were working on a new Jak game, but they decided not to. I think they will do it, it's just a matter of when, and now is just not the time. Reason being is, because we're kind of segueing into the Uncharted 4 question, I think they are doing another Uncharted. The reason why I think they're doing Uncharted 4 is a number of things. One being, they've already got their new sort of IP taste out of the way. They're doing The Last of Us right now. I don't think they're going to work on a sequel right away. Two, like I said about Jak, I think they'll do it, but just not now. Number three, all the cards are in place. Sony's launching the PlayStation 4, and they need a killer, super awesome AAA title game to make people buy PlayStation 4. And throughout this console generation, Uncharted was basically the game to buy if you got a PlayStation 3. I feel like Sony and Naughty Dog definitely had some conversations, and basically Sony wants them to do Uncharted 4, and since, they have that great working relationship, they have two teams, they're bringing in all these people, Naughty Dog's a very successful company, I feel like they can definitely pull it off. With all that said, new job listings, they're obviously talking about PS4. They've got a PS4 announcement coming, and obviously I can't wait to see it. Hey, giveaway winners. Last week I had a giveaway for Nun Attack on PlayStation Vita, and I randomly chose 3 people, and the winners for that are Black and Biz, Yvonne Hodgson, nuns are awesome because they look like penguins, and Jace Malenko. You guys are the winners, so check your YouTube inboxes very soon, and thank you everybody who entered in. The fact that you guys keep watching this YouTube channel and you're always commenting, that's what makes me more credible to talk to companies and get more codes to give away to you guys. That concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Benecki. Thank you for talking with me, and I'll see you next Friday.